What is good, y'all, bro? We got a little bit of a different thing going on here. I'm here with the homie Pan. What's good, Pan?
What's up?
What's up? And we decided, okay, so I do this thing called Conspiracy Deep Dive every week on Twitch. We decided, Pan's probably one of my most loyal viewers on there, so I decided, hey, look, let's go ahead and start a little podcast talking about conspiracies way deeper than we do on there. Now, we usually talk about those theories for about a smooth 30 minutes each, but I decided, hey, look, you pick a theory, I pick a theory every week. We come on here and discuss this way further than we do on stream. So I was like, fuck it, bro. We're going to do it. So this is a new podcast called the Further Beyond Podcast. I hope you guys enjoy this shit. Pan, I think he's going to be discussing the topic of North Korea, I'm pretty sure. Isn't that right, Pan?
Yeah.
All right, so he's going to be discussing North Korean. I'm going to be discussing the Skinwalker Ranch. If you've heard of it, maybe. Mine's kind of probably a little bit more popularized than him because I've heard of mine just in regular talk. I've never really heard of his, so it should be interesting. So, all right, Pan, if you want to start us off, go ahead and do this shit, bro.
Sure. I looked into the iceberg we use for CDD and found like two North Korea conspiracies, mysteries, I guess. Like one is a conspiracy and the other is like mystery / conspiracy. I don't even know how to define them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought about like combining them into two because talking about one of them won't take too long. I think if we combine them, there's just more to talk about. And yeah, to start off, North Korea is a secret utopia, right?
Right, that's kind of a big thing to kind of drop on this because North Korea is known to be one of the worst places on earth. So like, I'm gonna need you to delve deeper into that. What you mean?
Okay, right off the get-go, I don't believe in this, right? We have ample evidence. I think we have ample evidence
of a utopia or of a dystopia.
No. Okay. The only people really saying that North Korea is a utopia are those who are way too deep in all this conspiracy stuff, right? The ones that believe 9/11 was a setup. We weren't.
Shit. So it's just like on that territory.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also like two sides, like two different kinds of utopian conspiracies. And the first one being the most like rational or even not even rational, plausible one, the one I could maybe believe, right?
Okay.
That the media just is lying to us, right? This classic conspiracy that the media is the big bad lying to us all the time.
Yes, sir.
Every picture, every video, even the satellite footage, and even going to the point of saying that the stories of all the refugees, right, that escaped North Korea are all lies.
What? Okay, so they're taking the stance that everything that we see coming out of North Korea is just a lie.
Exactly. And okay, if you want to believe this, go ahead. There are so many media lying conspiracies. This is just one of them, right? I don't know why. Okay, there's one motive I could get behind why they are lying to us, and this is just to promote our lifestyle, right? Capitalism, democracy, all this.
Interesting.
So we think this is a good thing, but in reality, North Korea has this secret utopia, and we don't even know about it because they just don't want to tell us, apparently.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to hear more about it in a little bit, but I can definitely get behind America just making everywhere else seem terrible just so America can seem amazing, basically.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even just America, if I really think about it, because other countries also depict North Korea as something completely bad. There's nothing really good about it. So for this theory to be true, you would need to have the whole world, like all the governments, working together to keep up this facade of North Korea being the bad side of the world, the bad guy. So I don't even, never in my life would I expect the world to work together like this, right? This is just
Hell
not
no.
likely. Never.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, depending on how realistic this sounds, I feel like somebody definitely would have came out and been like, "Hey, look, the world's lying." But I don't even. I mean, as far as I know, nobody's ever came out and said that about
Yeah,
North Korea.
not to my knowledge at least. And okay, so if for those people who really want to believe this, I mean, okay, you cannot really prove this theory wrong objectively, because you could always say these are lies, right? I don't believe them. This is all just a big hoax. North Korea is a good place.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this last Thursdayism stuff about the world being, of the universe being made last Thursday, and you cannot disprove it. But this is just for those who are really way too deep into this.
Yeah, that is true.
Having
Just to
lost
kind
their
of
way.
explain the last Thursday of it a little bit more, it's basically a theory saying that every single Thursday that you've ever witnessed was the very beginning of the world. How can you disprove that? You can't, because they can just say, well, they've implanted the memories. Everything that you remember up until this point was just implanted to you. So basically, every Thursday ever is just the first day of this universe, which is it's kind of crazy to think about, but also just impossible to disprove. So I don't know.
Yeah, and this is just basically this side of this utopia theory. And if you want to go even wilder, or I guess, yeah, it is wilder. The other theory for the North Korea utopia is them saying that there is a secret utopia city or something like a secret side of the country below the ground, like under North Korea itself, and that the
What?
citizens alternate between top and bottom cities to keep up the facade, right? This is just completely nuts.
Wait. So what do you mean by that? Like, there's like underground people? Wait, so you can explain it. I don't get it.
I don't know if you watched Neon Genesis Evangelion, probably not, but they have like a similar thing. They have this city on top that works as like a facade, right? The people from outside look at the city and think everything is normal. And inside the earth, like right under, they go down with elevators. There is a completely different city deep under the earth.
What?
And people say that they down there live in a utopia, the best possible way to live. And to keep up this lie, people live at the top and at the bottom. Yeah, so
But why?
so you can't.
Why do they switch out though? What's the reason for them switching out?
I mean, if everyone lives down below, no one would live up there. So satellite footage and people visiting the place, there would be more
Oh,
people.
so is it just like, okay, so this month y'all get to live in hell and we'll go down below and have a good ass life, and then next month we'll alternate type shit?
Yeah, seems like it. Like this switching between dystopia and utopia, if that makes sense.
Interesting. But the dystopia is just a facade.
Right. So there are no people getting killed, I would assume, since they alternate. This is just all a big show, and we're all getting lies from not just our governments, but also North Korea itself. Everything is a lie, right? This is what conspiracies are all about.
That's true. So like who exactly are they like claiming came up with this whole idea? Kim Jong Un? Like, is that who started this whole like underground society and everything?
I don't even think that this theory goes into who made this. It's just always this. It's just
It just
all
is.
there. Yeah. And okay, I was looking into a couple articles, and I didn't really look deep into this, but there are a lot of articles going on about Kim Jong Un, start having made this in quote unquote utopian city somewhere in North Korea, like opening a new city and calling it utopian, the best place. So I don't know. It's kind of real.
I mean,
Maybe
okay,
this is
so
where it's originated from.
the stories that I've heard from him, he's definitely come out and like tried to disprove that the city's as bad as they say it is. But I think that's just because he is treating those people terrible. He don't want people to think he is. I mean, because
Yeah,
apparently
of
there's
course.
like different laws of like you can't ever like take a picture of him or take a picture of a certain statue, and you got to wear a certain type of clothing, and He's like told people he doesn't take a shit and stuff like this. So I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah,
But
the statue shit is actually crazy. You cannot make a photo of the statue if you don't have the whole statue, like from top to bottom in your picture. If you even cut it off
what?
slightly, you can get arrested and you're probably killed.
Why? Like, why does he do that though? What's the point?
I guess intimidation. I don't see another reason. It's
No,
like
is there like,
showing.
is the top half like cooler than the bottom half or something?
No, I don't think so. You could even cut out the arm or the legs. If the whole statue is not in the picture, then yeah, good luck surviving, I guess.
He'll just arrest you immediately. What the fuck
Yeah.
is this place? All right, so like, what if anybody that gets arrested just gets sent to the other underground city? And that's how they switch out. Because like, I feel like everybody's getting arrested there like daily because there's so many laws.
I, this actually makes sense now that I think about it. Having the arresting part be a way to move the people without suspicion. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. So if it's your turn, so like if your month is up, then you take a picture of that statue, you send it to somebody, and then they come like, okay, yeah, you're under arrest, and they take you and then switch you out with somebody.
Yeah, and probably not just statues or like crimes in general, or in quote unquote crimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything down there is utopia, the best thing ever. I want to go there.
So like, okay, so did you like look into like how deep this was into the ground or anything?
Nah, these theories usually don't go deep, literally.
That's
Don't
crazy.
give too much detail on this. This is all just, I don't even know where this originated. Probably 4chan. Like
Probably from Korea. Kim Jong-un probably made this shit up because he's a terrible leader. Allegedly. I don't know what's going on over there. That's
it's just all what the media is telling us, you know. But
I mean,
a real thing, at least, about North Korea. I was really surprised about this because I didn't know about this. Is the phenomenon? I don't even know. The ghost ship situation. I don't know if you heard about it.
wait, what's the ghost ship? What is that?
There are. Okay, wait. I think this was from 2011. Before that, there's no official data from the Japanese government that every year a dozen ships, like old derelict ships from North Korea, appear on Japanese shores with either no crew at all or a completely dead crew.
What the wait. So this is just, you said a phenomena, so it's happened more than once?
Yeah, it's happening since 2011 every year.
What?
The last number I found was 2019 with about 150 to 160 ships.
Filled with how many people that were dead?
Usually around 40, 30, 50, 60 people, like in this range, depending on the amount of ships.
What? Why is North Korea just like untouchable? Like, why has nobody like went over there like, okay, you can't just keep sending dead bodies over here?
I mean, these ships are coming from North Korea, and if you look at pictures of these ships, I don't know if you want to add some pictures from Google for the ones watching, because this is actually interesting. Those ships look hella old. Like, I would not use one of these ships to swim to like go to the East Sea, I think they call it.
Yeah.
The sea between Korea and Japan.
So is there like, okay, so you know how like there's like a Bermuda Triangle, right? Like anything that goes through that triangle allegedly just doesn't make it out. I wonder if there's like, I don't know, maybe something like that over there in North Korea too. Because like I really doubt that North Korea is just sending people in these ships alive and just letting them die. I hope not anyway.
I mean, yeah, you would hope so. There is, people try to explain this, and I think the explanation works. But also, there's people going completely wild with conspiracy theories, saying that it's either like, for the plausible one side, pirates attacking these ships, or just full on nuts, the bloop. You probably know about this. This one.
Where you said pirates are 4 months to what?
No, okay. There's two major conspiracies going on here. People either say pirates are attacking these ships, pirates we don't even know about, or it's this one, what was it? Mystery from many years ago. This living creature underwater. They called it the bloop.
What the hell is that? What is the bloop?
You never heard about it?
No, is that like a Loch Ness monster type shit?
Yeah, way worse. It's apparently way bigger than the blue whale, like massively bigger. But I look at maps, and the bloop was like the sound the bloop made was recorded way.
Oh, that's okay. So they got like the recordings deep underwater, and they heard it. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. I've heard of that for sure.
Yeah, but this is a completely different place. I looked into comments and forums and all this. I don't know why no one is mentioning this. Like people say, yeah, it could be the bloop, right? The bloop. That sounds interesting and maybe possible, but this is just not the same place. The bloop was recorded near South America, like west south side of South America, and the ships appearing. It's happening between North Korea and Japan, completely different places. So I don't even know.
Why would they even try to correlate the two then? That's weird.
Because it's happening in the water, I guess. If somewhere in the world there is a water conspiracy with ships, you could always say Loch Ness or the bloop, and people will believe it.
That's crazy. North Korea, I mean, why is so much weird shit just circulate this place? What is going on over there?
Yeah. And I mean, okay, I looked into this again to see if there is an explanation for the ships having a completely dead crew. And the people say, or many like scientists and all this say that these are fishing ships, like people that go out to fish, because fishing is like a major part of the North Korean economy. But the people who are on these ships get almost no food, and these ships are so old they don't have a GPS. So they don't
What?
are.
So they don't. So they don't feed their people, and they just don't give them a location to or any way to navigate.
Apparently,
They just send them in the water.
these
What?
ships look like straight up from medieval times. Okay, I mean, okay, I'm exaggerating. But they are old as fuck, like First World War ships. Even older.
What are they doing? Is this okay? So we gotta like find a way to correlate these two theories. 'Cause this is two weird things coming from North Korea. So we have an underground. Okay, so we have a utopia that is supposedly North Korea, which may also be under North Korea. We have people that are just getting tormented basically by the useless and like sad laws that they have, and we have ships that are being sent out to Japan with no navigation or food. Like what exactly is going on? Are they punishing people instead of sending them to jail? Are they putting them on these ships and saying good luck? Like what?
I mean, pick your poison. Nothing of. I mean, okay. One side says it's a utopia, no one is dying, everyone lives a great life, and then on the other side, you hear about fishermen getting sent out into like far away ocean water, whatever seas, without a GPS. They don't know anything. If there's a storm coming, if there are rocks or whatever, they don't know. They just all die, and then ships appear in Japan, sometimes even in Russia. And the ships are either empty, as I said, or full of skeletons.
Wait, so
Decomposed bodies.
what?
Yeah.
Okay, so is there any like type of like not contraband, but I think like items and stuff that they put on ships, like any type of like packaging or anything, or is it just the bodies?
From what I gathered, it's bodies and probably like nets to catch the fish. But there's almost no like high-tech technology stuff. If they don't have a GPS, I don't think they have anything that really helps. They don't have like almost no food, and of course they cannot eat the fish because this is to get sold or to be sold. So I don't even know. I heard stories that there are crew members found with decapitated like body, like they had no hands.
What? Wait. You can't just zoom past that. So they're being killed by something.
just throwing it in there. I
You
was
can't
trying
just
to
throw
find
that in.
I was trying to find more on this, but I really couldn't. This is just I just saw a couple people in forums and all talking about them, like finding stories or listening to people and them they telling them that there were crew members with no like heads anymore. The heads are just
What
gone.
the fuck?
So I mean, okay, if they had no food, maybe the explanation could be that they were eating crew
Yeah,
members to survive.
cannibalism. Yeah.
Yeah, this would be what like I don't even know if this would be what normal people would be doing if they were starving, but I guess it makes sense.
No, I mean we've definitely seen theories where people are starving. I think we had the one they were on the mountain or whatever, and they just start eating people. So, but why? I don't think they go straight for the head though. There's not even any meat there unless they're just eating the brain.
I mean, the head was missing. I could imagine them just decapitating people so they don't feel any pain, like killing someone like
Ah,
completely cut off, and then they eat the body. I mean, they only find skeletons mostly, or of decomposing bodies, like almost no flesh on them. So either it's cannibalism or these boats are swimming in the sea for months and months, and then they just appear at the shore.
is there like okay? So can they like? Is there like a justification for how long they think the ships just float until they land on somewhere?
I mean,
Or
I remember
do they just find the ships and then be like, damn, well, there goes another one, and just send it back?
I don't. I mean, would they send it back though? The ships are not usable anymore at this point. It's just like broken wood. Yeah, the ships are made of wood. This already shows you that
Wait, these are wooden ships? What the?
medieval ship, whatever. Yeah,
That is crazy. I just.
and people go out there to survive, being forced by a utopian country to die.
There ain't no damn way that place is a utopia. What is he doing over there? Why is he just killing these people? So, I mean, what I can kind of. Let me just guess on what is going on.
Yeah.
So, I'd suppose that North Korea isn't really good on technology and stuff like that. At least it's not as good as the other places are. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on over there, so I don't think they're up good on technology. Maybe these are the only ships they have. These are people going to collect food. They don't have a GPS because North Korea doesn't even have that stuff. And then as they're returning back with the fish and stuff, they just get lost. And they're just floating aimlessly on the sea until they inevitably all die.
But then I'm asking myself, how many ships are being sent out? Because I read that a big part of the North Korean economy is the fish trade between China and North Korea. And if like 150 ships in 1 year appear in Japan, that crew, how many ships make it back? So they are sending out hella ships,
Yeah.
500 ships,
So
won't make it back.
150 ships land on Japan. How many ships are they sending out to get this fish? Like, how much of a headlock does China have them in to where they're doing all this for just fish? That sounds scary as fuck. I don't know. Yeah, I can't even. Yeah, after that, I can't even guess what the hell's going on. I mean, maybe they are just ghost ships, but the thing is, Japan obviously don't care because they haven't made a bigger deal out of it. So,
There were also like debates if these were actually North Korean ships. For a while, people were debating, but South Korea has way more technology, and there were like pictures, and it's already proven that the fishermen from South Korea use way like better ships, more modern and all.
yeah.
It has to be North Korea. No other like country has this much disregard to human life as them.
But like, so South Korea is way better than North Korea, right?
Yeah.
How close is North Korea and Japan?
You have this big sea between them. South Korea almost borders, I believe, Japan, and North Korea is right above. So not too far away. like west side of the USA to north side, I guess. Should be around this. I hope I'm not disrespecting any
Yeah,
geography
yeah.
here.
I hope not. I hope not. So North Korea.
I have,
So North Korea is connected to China. I just don't see how the ships are either going to Japan or Russia. Like that is such a vast difference.
yeah, Japan is east, south, southish, and Russia is in the west.
Yeah, so I'm looking at a map right now. I'd have to cross the Sea of Japan in order to get there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely not North Korea, but or South Korea. I don't
Yeah,
know. This shit's
probably not.
It's
Also,
probably
fun
some
fact,
Squid Game shit.
fun fact also, they usually rename, or I think not even usually, always rename seas and other places in the world, so they don't have like things like Japan or whatever USA in them. So this Japan Sea is
Oh,
just called like East Sea or something.
so they
They
wanted
just
to
don't.
make sure no country had like an entitlement over a sea.
Yeah, it's just them.
That's
Damn.
crazy. Yeah, I don't want to speak too much about North Korea because I ain't no telling what the fuck they got. I mean, they.
Jung-un, please don't visit me here. Please.
But I mean, I don't know. Everybody thought he was dead a couple years ago or last year, and then like I saw an article like last month saying that he was North Korea's sexiest man to the city or the country or some shit. So I don't know what the fuck is going on over there.
So I'm telling you, this whole thing with him dying, it had to be like a plan he made up to see who is loyal to him, right?
Yeah. So
Find the traitors.
so he killed himself off just to see like who would be like, damn, I'm glad he's dead. And then
Yeah.
came back like a week later. It was like, damn, and had them executed.
And it would make so much sense. But I don't know. Nothing is official.
Yeah,
What
I'm
is
not speaking
official
of
is
North Korea.
this- What is official is this one video I watched about Kim Jong-un showing the country, like you were talking about, like it's all sunny, whoopsie daisy, right?
Yeah.
People say in the USA. And I mean, okay, it has to be real, right? The people are laughing in the background in their houses. It has to be real. Otherwise, they wouldn't be laughing.
Yeah.
So we learned it has to be a utopia. This whole fisherman thing, not real, of course.
So they saw one picture of people laughing. It was like North Korea is a utopia.
Maybe. It all connects, right? We have to believe this.
Yeah, we have to believe it. We saw a picture of somebody laughing, so there's definitely an underground city. There's definitely no ghost ships. Japan and Russia are just lying for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And Kim Jong-un is happy and healthy and the sexiest man of North Korea. Allegedly.
They're the only city, and people can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but there is like only one city that you're allowed to visit for vacation in North Korea, and this is like a completely artificially made city for tourists to show how awesome the country is.
What the fuck? Wait, are you telling the truth? Like, is this real?
Yeah, that's true.
So you can only visit one city in North Korea
Yeah.
just to
And
take
it's
pictures
all-
and show how awesome North Korea is?
Yeah, and you have always like a person, a North Korean person, a guide or whatever, following you, showing you around so you don't leave your designated area for tourists.
So like, okay, so allegedly, like, what would happen? Making a situation. What would happen if I went there and like started live streaming and went to the part where I was allowed to go, and then like as soon as the guard turned his back, I just ran away to a different city, and like there was just ample, just terrible shit going on. Like, what would they do to me if I like live stream that?
Your body's getting a couple more holes, I'm telling you.
why are they trying to hide it so bad? That is crazy. We definitely moving on to Skinwalker Ranch now because North Korea they're already monitoring this podcast already, and it's only the first episode. We're already on some type of watch list for North Korea. So I did my research on the Skinwalker Ranch. Now it was probably like about 4 or 5 months ago at this point. We've been doing CDG for a while, but I did it on skinwalkers, and at the time, we were doing our research. We can blame this on whether this was like me being one of the first times I've done CDD, or whether this is just an absolute trash theory, because skinwalker was not a good theory at all. Like, I think all we found was like a video of somebody claiming they saw a skinwalker, and it was just like nothing, and they just recorded it and started circling shit.
I remember the person like uploading a video to Reddit saying it's a skinwalker. And all it was a deer.
Yeah, he says a skinwalker, and it was just some deer running away, and then he was like, "Did you catch that?" And then rewinded the video and played it in slow motion. It wasn't anything. I don't know what he was trying to do, but I couldn't let myself just believe that was a bad theory, because I've heard so many good things about this skinwalker theory. I mean, like, we've had people tell us, like, yeah, bro, you got to do skinwalker. Like, it's one of the best theories ever. And then we saw that shit and then immediately called it an F tier and then moved on. So I looked a little deeper, and there is some fire that comes with skinwalker. Now, this is something called the Skinwalker Ranch. The Skinwalker Ranch was owned by Terry and Gwen Sherman. It was a cattle ranch in Utah in 1996. So this is fairly recent. It's probably about 30 years ago.
Fairly recent. Yeah, okay. 30 years. I can accept it.
Yeah. It was the 90s, so like it was obtainable. I was born in 99, so that's only 3 years away from when I was born. So they lived, before I say any of this stuff, just know that they lived inside this ranch or house for 15 months. So that's like a year and some change, a year and 3 months. So they lived here for 15 months. Why? I have no idea. Their first night living here, so they had just moved into the ranch or whatever. On their first night, they saw a wolf that was 3 times the size of a normal wolf. Okay, so they think it was like some type of dire wolf that had went extinct like back in prehistoric times. That's how big this thing was. Imagine basically twice the size of a bear, and that's how big this wolf was. Just what? Like yeah, like just imagine a bear, but like double that, and that's how big this wolf was.
This sounds like a bad horror movie plot.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, like I don't know, like, how accountable we can take all the stuff they're saying, but it's just been confirmed by so many people that I'm thinking it's actually real. So
how many people confirmed?
Okay, so we're gonna get into it, but there was a family of 5 that lived here. There was Terry and Gwen, the 2 husband and wife, then their kids, and then basically like somebody bought the farm, and then somebody bought it from them. Like, it's been confirmed by a lot of people. So
I guess you have to believe it.
I mean,
or it's a little more believable than most other theories.
Yeah. It's more believable than like the utopia thing.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so we'll get into that in a second. So basically, okay, so the first night there, they saw a wolf that was triple the size of a normal wolf. That was their first day. Terry and Gwen were sleeping, actually. It was like around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and they heard a sound in their chicken coop. So Terry went outside with the shotgun and saw this monstrosity of a fucking animal and was like, okay, I'm going to kill it, obviously, because he's attacking my chickens. It said that he shot him multiple times in the head, and the animal just shook it off and ran away. With the shotgun.
Okay.
So he shot him multiple times in the head. The animal just kind of looked at him like it got angry. If anything, like it didn't even hurt it. It just got angrier, and then ran off into the woods.
Oh, it didn't attack him. Okay.
No, it was only attacking the chickens. He just ran off.
Weird. So he shot the wolf multiple times, and the wolf just ran off. Yeah, okay, that's
in the head.
The head, yeah. Is this Skinwalker origin story?
I don't know. This is just pertaining to skinwalkers, because, like, as we know, before we talk about anything, skinwalkers they're supposedly or allegedly Navajo Indian tribe that's able to like transform into an animal and then back into a regular human. So basically, like, they deal with witchcraft and stuff like that. So if this was real, then obviously something like bullets wouldn't be able to even remotely affect it, honestly.
Probably not, yeah.
I mean, compare that to if we're shooting a normal wolf, that would obviously have killed it, and now we're dealing with something that may be under witchcraft. But this is on their first day, so the first day they saw this large wolf, they shot it and then it ran off or whatever. After that, for the next 15 months, they saw multiple crop circles. They saw 3 types of UFOs that visited them every single night. Some being like a small box shape, and then some being the size of a football field. And then they.
Is this still connected to the Skinwalkers?
Yes, this all happened on this ranch.
Now suddenly just aliens appear, right?
Yes, it's like this is all happening in these people's house. They just called it the Skinwalker Ranch because there's multiple Skinwalker sightings as well. And it sounds better than UFO Ranch, I guess. So they saw the crop circles. They saw 3 different types of UFOs every night. And they saw disappearing and mutilation of their cattle. Now, when I say mutilation, they would go outside every morning, or mostly every morning, and see their cows were emptied out. Like their stomach was just open with nothing inside of them whatsoever.
Oh, no.
And I think on one occasion it said that they found one of their cows that was still alive, but one of his eyes were missing, and there was no trace of blood whatsoever. It was just an empty eye hole, basically.
The fuck? You're telling me these people stayed?
That's why I wanted to make sure you guys know they stayed there for 15 months after during all this stuff.
If I see a wolf 3 times the size or 2 times the size of a bear running away after shot in the head multiple times, you won't find me there anymore.
That's what I was saying. That was on their first night living there. They saw that, and they're just like, well, back to the cattle, I guess, and then just went on with their night and went back to sleep. How did you even go to sleep after seeing that?
Yeah. It's like another day. No, not even another day. It's the first day. Yeah, must be normal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So going into a little deeper with these topics, with the crop circles and everything. After that first night, they saw a series of weird things of misshapen animals and unidentifiable animals, basically. So it'd be by unidentifiable, it'd be like a wolf with a turtle head on it. Not exactly that extreme, but it'd be stuff like that. Just mixed match animals, basically, that there's no way they could possibly exist.
Wait, dead animals or alive?
No, alive. He'd see these all the time. Not just the wolf, he'd also see just wolves with bear heads on them and just weird shit like that. Stuff like Skinwalker stuff that we've heard before. And he said that these animals would roar throughout the night, every single night. Not growl, they would roar every single night.
All the people living there are witnesses. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Is at least once in their life. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They all attest to this. Every single one of them. Terry, his wife, all the kids. They all say that this happened, just out of nowhere. It's really weird. But that can be attached to something later in the story, as to why they did it.
Yeah. I don't see a reason. First glance, I don't see a reason for them to lie.
Okay,
it might be just a big joke they made up to fool everyone, but yeah, sounds.
But it was a running joke for 15 months though. They would come every day to because I'm guessing what I'm imagining right now is this ranch is basically something far off in the woods, and they'd have to go into the town in order to go grocery shopping and stuff. So they drive 30 minutes into the local town and be like, yeah, last night, I saw a UFO the size of a football field. And it'd be a different story like that every single time they came and talked to the people. So I don't know. There'd be no reason for them to lie other than if they're just big liars for no reason. So I don't know.
But then I'm thinking, why did no one ever go there to confirm if they went to the city or to the next town, told people?
Oh, they did. They did. But yeah, it's getting into it. It just gets, this story just gets, it spirals out of control. It's wait till we get deeper. All right, so they're already seeing weird animals that are basically, there's no way this should exist. With the crop circles and the UFOs, they're also seeing these lights in the sky every single night. They're either large orange circular lights, or they would be small blue ones that would just dart across the sky. Just imagine the aurora lights that are inside North Pole and stuff like that. Except in Utah, and there's no way they could possibly exist there. So they would see lights every night. They would hear these sounds, see these animals every day. And then I think about a couple months in, they started finding their pets incinerated.
What? How does this make any sense?
So, like, this is a real story. Like, they would like, I think they found their dog one day just like burnt to a crisp.
Nah, from big wolves to aliens.
Yeah, so like their pets just I don't know. It didn't explain what exactly it meant by incinerated, but I'm sure your imagination can kind of fill in the blank. I don't know if it was just like their body was gone and just their paws was there, or maybe it was just like a burnt animal. I don't know what it meant by incinerated, but
Yeah, skinwalkers apparently have also fire powers.
yeah.
That's new.
I mean, it's definitely all connected. It's just real weird why exactly they stayed here for this long, seeing all this
Why
stuff.
is happening there?
So obviously, with the Shermans telling these stories over and over again, news publications started like making it like putting the news out, telling everybody about it. Well, this caught the attention of a billionaire through the newspaper by the name, I think his name is Robert Bigelow. So he actually approached them on this cattle ranch after the 15 months they lived there and was like, look, I don't know why the fuck you guys are still here, but I'll buy this ranch from you. So he ended up buying the ranch. That's the only reason I could connect to why they were doing this, which there's no way they could have even known anybody would buy the ranch after hearing this stuff. So and that's the only reason I could think of, like, a lie that they would tell this, that they somehow knew they'd attract the attention of a billionaire, then he'd buy the ranch from him.
But that's so much work. And also, you need pretty good information. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's the only reason I can think of. That's after this, you never hear of the Shermans again. He pays them, then they go on their way, basically. So
They just disappeared. Okay.
not disappear, but of course they took the money and then moved somewhere else, and nobody really heard from him after that. So
Okay.
this guy Robert Bigelow, he had a big passion for space travel and paranormal stuff. So this is why he bought the ranch. He says he bought it for research or whatever you want to take for that means. I don't know what exactly he's trying to research, but after he bought the ranch, basically, it doesn't say how much he bought it for. I'm guessing it was some type of like undisclosed amount of money. This ranch immediately went nationwide. Like everybody was talking about it in news publications and stuff like that. Obviously not as big as it would be these days because this happened in like 96, 97.
Yeah.
So, you know, as big as news was back then, that's how big it was. As this went nationwide, this started getting the attention of like a lot of conspiracy theorists saying that Bigelow's a part of the CIA and stuff, and that he somehow heard of this from the CIA. They gave him money and said, hey, go buy this ranch. There's aliens and stuff out there. They're not supposed to know about this. Go buy it, take it from them, and then send them on their way. So it got so big to the point that he had to publicly come out in the news and say that he wasn't a part of the CIA, so people would stop like emailing him and like just attributing him to just buying this ranch for the CIA, basically.
This whole story sounds rather extreme, right? I don't even believe that the CIA would take 15 months to arrive there and to buy off this ranch.
Well, it's kind of with the deal of the fact that it's like, you know, are you gonna listen to somebody after one story they tell, or after 15 months of consecutive, like, hey, bro, we are being tormented out here on this ranch. Like,
Yeah,
if we could move, we would. I mean, I'm thinking they didn't move because they were just poor. I mean, it's a cattle ranch, so I don't imagine it to be the house to be that well run. I mean, it's probably a big farm, but I just think this is all they had, and they couldn't move out of here. So they had to just sit here every single night and listen to roars and see UFOs every day. So I don't know.
But would you stay there even if you were poor?
Where else are they going to go?
I don't know. I mean, okay, they're poor, right? They have not that many options, but the place they're staying at is high risk. A high risk area. You could die any day, at any point. I don't know.
I have no idea, but
You have to look around. But
all right, so I'm guessing if I were these people, I'm just going to put myself in the shoes of this because there's still a lot to this story. But if I was Terry, I would say, hey, all this stuff is happening every night. If you guys want to see this, even though it is dangerous, I'm charging like $10 per person that wants to spend the night here. Maybe they had like some type of like side thing where they were getting money off of this, even though they were scared out of their lives. Maybe.
Maybe.
But okay, so Robert bought the house from him. There were a lot of people speculating he's part of the CIA. He had to come out and say, "Hey, I'm not a part of this." So after all that happened, he also claimed to never have been in contact with aliens prior to him buying the ranch. Now I don't know why he threw the word prior. Does that mean that he came into contact after that? But he like stressed that he never met any aliens before he bought the ranch. I don't know why he said that sentence with like along with him saying he's not part of the CIA, but that people thought that was also really weird too.
So full on serious. This is not a joke to him.
No, like he's very much intrigued in like space travel and stuff like that. So he bought this ranch to, I guess, trying to come into contact with them to ask questions about like what space is like, basically.
I mean, okay, if you have the money, you can do whatever you want, basically.
Yeah, man,
So
he's a billionaire, so he probably gave them like 500,000. Was like, okay, yeah, y'all get out of here. It's basically nothing to him. So after that, the NIDS contacted him, which is the National Institute for Discovering Science. They wanted to come and set up cameras and everything to do research on the entire land that they have, which is like, it doesn't say how much it was, but I'm guessing like it's more than 10 acres of land. So they come, set up cameras, and this is the weird part. They did confirm, the National Institute for Discovering Science, they did confirm that their team saw everything that Terry and his wife saw. But every time they would try to catch it on camera, their technology would instantly start malfunctioning. They were never able to get one bit of footage off of it.
damn, this sounds really inconvenient.
Yeah, so they would see the lights, they would see the UFOs. I don't know if they ever saw the skinwalkers, but they definitely saw like the alien part of it. But like anytime they would record it, it would always malfunction.
But why, if the aliens are such a focus, why are people usually just talking about skinwalker sightings near the ranch? When we covered this theory on CDD, I don't remember even a single person ever mentioning aliens.
Yeah, I mean, basically it was just, okay, so there's the whole alien aspect, but I guess since like every single day cattle was turning up emptied, they would just think it was just the animal aspect of somebody turning into an animal, eating this cow alive, and then just leaving. And then there was the whole big wolf, and then the fact this is also on, oh yeah, this is also a land that's on Navajo territory.
Oh.
So like this whole ranch is like basically on cursed quote unquote land. So that's why they're kind of attaching the whole skinwalker thing to it. But okay, so their equipment was always malfunctioning. They never caught anything on camera. And they said one time they came back outside from being inside the house for a while, and all of their equipment was shredded and mangled, and with having wires taken out of it completely.
Were there any more details on how it was all destroyed?
No, it just said that they came out and then everything was shredded. I don't know how technology can get shredded, but that sounds really weird in itself.
Shredded, weird like term. I thought of like maybe these like aliens, animals, whatever came there and just ate like, or bit in all these technology like equipment. But if you say shredded, it sounds like technology was used to like precisely destroy their equipment. Weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. And that was the last thing that the NIDS ever did. I don't know if like after that they ended up leaving or basically abandoning the project because they were scared, but that was the last like anybody ever heard of the NIDS ever being on that territory. But after that, the case kind of went cold for a while. I mean, the billionaires still own the land, but nobody ever really went into contact with it for until 4 years ago, actually. So probably about 2017, when an anonymous buyer, like somebody that he never wanted his name leaked, came out and like bought the property from this billionaire and says, "Hey, this is mine now," basically. But a lot of people, obviously, we have a lot of doxers and stuff like that. So we ended up finding out who the person was through illegal means. I'm sure somebody by the name of Brandon Fugel came out and bought the property from the billionaire. So ever since he's had it for the past 4 years, the area's been completely closed off with fencing, and he's had cameras set up everywhere on the land. So like I don't know if he's like constantly replacing these, but he has cameras set up everywhere around the entire ranch, and he actually coined the phrase Skinwalker Ranch and named it that and trademarked it. So it was him that made the name.
To this day, the cameras and all,
Yeah, to this day, for the past 4 years, yeah.
and you cannot enter anymore.
No, nobody can go in there. This place is, it went from like being open to where nobody is allowed on this property whatsoever.
I mean, okay, now this is weird.
Yeah,
Just the person buying the whole place, no one is allowed. I mean, like maybe a couple like people could illegally enter, make pictures, but then there's also cameras, so not that.
yeah, you'll be
easy.
caught instantaneously. It's just it's just the fact that he tried to buy it as anonymously and then obviously was found out later because of the internet. But he never himself came out and said that he was the one that bought it. Like people had to find out it was him. He bought the property from a billionaire, so how much money is he investing into this? Especially from somebody that's very much into space travel. Like was the billionaire scared off, or was he just like offered an amount of money that he just couldn't refuse? It's kind of scary, honestly. But this place was closed off. He named it Skinwalker Ranch, and ever since then, nobody's ever been on there. But the thing is, this isn't the only place in that city where stuff has been sighted. It's like a citywide haunted place, basically. So I only found 2 other sightings of other stuff, but there was actually a couple that claimed to be followed by a hovering light for an hour, and then it transformed into 3 alien figures.
Okay.
So with these next 2 stories, I'm gonna say that they saw all the fame that these stories were getting for Skinwalker Ranch and just started making shit up at this point.
Yeah.
So this couple, I don't think they were followed by anything. They probably just made that shit up. I mean, they were the only 2 that could confirm it, and they walked for an hour. So I don't see how anybody else didn't see anything. And why would you just be running away from it for an hour? Just go home. And they never said what happens after it transformed into 3 alien figures. It kind of just ended after that. So with the other story, a retired high school teacher claimed that he saw over 400 UFO sightings in the early 50s in that city.
Like at one time, or
No, just like spanning all throughout the 50s.
Oh, okay.
That sounds a little bit more believable than the other story, but I still don't believe him seeing. I mean, he says he's found 400, and he never came out to tell anybody until just now, basically.
Did he count all of them? 400 is kind of
Wait,
specific.
okay, so it says more than 400, not exactly 400. Just like he's
Still.
yeah, that's yeah, that is a really like. Did he just like mark a little piece of paper every single time he saw like a UFO or something, and then never told anybody until now?
Anyone at school if he counted all these UFOs.
That's probably why he got fired. He's probably talking about it at school, and they probably fired his ass. It says retired, so I don't know. But yeah, after that, it kind of just went away. I mean, all the stories after Brandon Fugel bought the land or whatever, nobody's really talked about it. There's been a lot of like docu-series, there's been a lot of books, but that's basically just talking about Terry and Gwen's stories and not really anything that's happened after Brandon bought it. So I mean, all of it is on the History Channel. Like it's a very big case, but it kind of just goes flatline after Brandon buys it, which is really weird. But yeah,
So there's no new footage of anything happening there after 2017, you said?
yeah, 2017, 4 years ago.
No more footage. Okay.
No, I mean it's kind of just like he bought it and then just saying basically like anything that happens on this land is just for me. If somebody wants to start correlating the CIA between him, that'd probably be a lot more believable than the other guy. But yeah, Brandon's really sketchy, honestly.
Now I'm wondering if another billionaire could just pull up and buy it from
Just a line of billionaires.
yeah, just to like out of curiosity. We need more billionaires just going around doing stuff that people just want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the first guy buying it because I mean they talked about that for 15 months straight. Like I just found that unbelievable that they just witnessed something almost every day. I mean, hopefully they over exaggerated by saying every day and it was just like once a week, but even that's still too many times.
Yeah.
So I mean that it's a weird ass story nonetheless. I wish I would have found this story during the actual talking of Skinwalker Ranch, but it's a lot of weird shit. Honestly,
But Skinwalker sightings are not limited to the ranch, right? They should be, to my knowledge at least, happening all over the US.
yeah. It's not just this ranch. Skinwalkers are seen everywhere. Claims have been said that they're only around like tribe areas, so maybe it has something to do with that. We've obviously discussed that, you know, skinwalkers do have a correlation between some tribes, one being like the Navajo and stuff like that. So, I mean, the skinwalkers like range back from even early colonial days. Like it's just ranges back so far because there's even stories of saying like, you know, they've seen some Native Americans transform into something they've never seen before. So it's really weird, the whole skinwalker situation. But that's also another topic that's like North Korea. I'm not touching that. They say you can't even say the word skinwalker and not be like haunted by one. So I'm fucked.
General?
Yeah. Like they say you can't even like. Well, I don't know if it's like you got to be outside, but I've said it so much inside, so I don't know. But yeah, if you are outside near the woods or any type of tribe area, don't say the word skinwalker because they allegedly get like very angry that you're even speaking on it, and then just get rid of you basically.
I just hope this is a US only thing. I'm a try it out, and next time I'm in a forest,
you are
I'm
gonna
saying
die.
Skinwalker.
I mean, I feel like it is because America, I mean, obviously has a lot of cursed land on it because a lot of hatreds happen here. So I don't think it might just be an American specific thing, but yeah, Terry and Gwen, they obviously got their bag. I don't know where they are now. Like I said, nobody's ever talked about them since then. Nobody's ever talked about Robert Bigelow, who was the first billionaire, and Brandon Fugel just disappeared after he bought it. So nobody knows what's going on in the ranch anymore. So it's just a lot of weird topics for today, bro. There's a lot of stuff that could possibly get us killed if the right person hears this shit, or if the wrong person, I guess.
Lies everywhere. Everything is hidden away. Like all the time. Somehow we know so much, and we also don't know anything at all at the same time.
Yeah, there's just this fact that there's like so many facts about it. Like there's so many people talking about this, but nothing ever came from it. Like it ran its course in the late '90s, and then somebody bought it, and then somebody bought it from him, and that was kind of just it. Now we have this like docu-series talking about stuff that we've already heard from the two couples or whatever, or from the one couple.
Yeah, maybe we'll get more info on this whole ranch thing in a couple of years. Like we had to wait a few years until the ranch was bought from someone else again. So yeah, only time to tell, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's a possibility of Brandon Fugel like for some reason just storing all this information and then releasing it all at one time, like in a series or something, that'd be kind of cool too. But unless that happens, yeah, that's kind of all I have for Skinwalker Ranch. It's a very interesting story though.
Yeah, interesting indeed. Lots of stuff I didn't even know about. I mean, I knew about skinwalkers, like the basic stuff, right? This shape shifting thing, but the ranch, yeah, never touched on it. Surprising.
Yeah, we I don't even think when we did the theory did we talk about this ranch at all, or did we just like touch on it?
We just saw Skinwalker Ranch, and then we just drifted off to something
what?
else. We were watching videos of regular animals at night instead. This is what we were doing. This is why we called it an F tier.
Yeah, anybody that was like very, very into Skinwalkers probably stopped watching that shit immediately. They probably saw me go Skinwalker Ranch, what the fuck? And just immediately moved to something else. Damn, that's crazy.
This theory at least A tier.
Oh yeah, at least now, because this shit is crazy. I just don't know how they stayed there for that long. Why do you live there for 15 months?
Yeah, your explanation about them being poor is the only thing that might be true. But like, why would they stay there? Why would they stay there? No money. But even then, I would just leave. Right? I would live under a bridge.
Do you think they were lying?
No, I mean, if they lied, this theory you said about them lying, this would support your claim of them just trying to get the bag, like lying so the ranch gets bought. But if we disregard this whole thing, why would they stay there even though there are monsters running around at night? If they don't have the money, yeah, they can't leave. But even then, I would still, if I were in their situation, leave the place. I don't want to die at night because of a
A bear wolf.
3 times the size of wolf. Yeah, nah.
I just if this is for somehow if they made this whole thing up knowing that a billionaire would see this might be the biggest brain move like ever in history.
Yeah.
Like just imagine the two people just like, hey bro, we're broke. I don't want to be a cattle farmer. Let's just make a whole bunch of shit up in the next year. Hopefully somebody buys this and then we're out clear. And then a billionaire shows up at the front step and pays them God knows how much money.
Best case scenario. If they got the money, is this something official? Can't you just say that these might be just lies? They got killed or whatever, like going full conspiracy mode.
So you're not even thinking that they survive seeing after the billionaire.
You could say that, like they found out about these regular people. Why would he like pay them money? He could just kill them off. No one would care. It's
damn.
What year was this?
1996.
Yeah, perfect time. Just kill them. No records, no internet.
Yeah, they didn't have shit back in the 90s. You could do anything and just be scotch free, basically. Yeah, I mean that honestly explained a lot, like how nobody ever heard of them after they got the house bought from him. But I don't know. Maybe he did send some people over there to kill them, and then had the bodies cleaned, and then just tell people, "Oh yeah, I bought it from them," and then they just kind of left after that.
Even this, we have no definitive answer. All we can do is speculate. Kind of sad that there is no more info on this area after 2017, but yeah, we'll see. Something appears somewhere all the time.
As with everything, bro, like everything that you guys are gonna hear on this podcast are gonna be either very, very hard speculations or stuff that actually happened with speculations attached to it. So, like I said, don't take me and Pan, don't take everything that we say like as hardcore proof, because like obviously these people could have been lying. There are people obviously lying about North Korea being a utopia. Like it's just there's a lot of stuff that you don't have to take everything with hardcore truth, but maybe this is true. Like we know just as much as you do. I researched this and told you everything that I read. Pan researched his, told you everything that he read. But I mean, is there anything else you got to add? I might just close it off.
No, I think this is like a good place to stop. Good ass first episode. Let's see what we can find for the second episode. Maybe something less extreme.
Yeah, we'll try to take it a little easy for the next episode. This one was a little deep, honestly, but
yeah.
This has been the Further Beyond podcast. Thank you guys for making it this far. If you have, appreciate you. Spread the podcast name. Tell it to other people if you guys like conspiracies and true crime and stuff like that. We'll try to get into more of the true crime aspect of it, maybe. At least I will anyway. I love true crime, so I'm going to try to tap into the true crime maybe next episode. But this has been the podcast. This is Pan. This is Apollo. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.